Hello, my name is Bjorn Vahsen and I'm a third year PhD student at the Kavli Department of Clinical Neurosciences, and I work at the Dorothy Hodgkin building in the Kavli Institute.
I'm Kevin Talbot. I'm a clinical neurologist, head of the Nuffield Department of Clinical Neurosciences, and my laboratory research is in trying to model motor neuron disease or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. So Bjorn, this work, it's wonderful to see it come to publication. I mean, how long would you estimate it took from beginning to end?
So the whole project took about 2.5 years, I would say.
Quite a long time. Did you expect it to take that long, or did you think it would all happen much more quickly?
Well, we would hope it would take about 1 year in the beginning to sort of set up the model and characterize it. But we of course had some obstacles to overcome with the lockdowns and the difficulty of obtaining agents and that sort of stuff. So in the end, I think it took about 2.5 years, which was of course a bit longer than we expected.
I mean, if you were to meet somebody walking down the street and they were to stop you and say, tell me why your research is important, what would you say?
So with the idea that we need new models to find new drugs, we developed a new method, and the idea is that we can in the future use this system to understand the interaction between motor neurons and microglia cells from MND patients, and that would allow us in the first instance to understand a bit better what's going on in motor neuron disease. And secondly, we would then also use it to look for new drugs that would potentially have a benefit for motor neuron disease patients.
So what would you think was the hardest challenges that made you think, well, can I get over this?
And one of the obstacles which we didn't really foresee was, so I started by setting up cells in our lab, but we also closely collaborated with the lab of Dr. Kavli at the School of Pathology, and I would grow the motor neuron disease, I would grow the motor neurons in our lab, and then the microglia cells in her lab. But what we didn't really anticipate is that we would also have to combine them at some point. So what I ended up doing was, at least in the beginning, I would collect the cells in Sally's lab, would have about a liter of media with cells in my backpack, and then would have to cycle them up.
So the cells managed to survive the cycle up the hill?
They did, yes.
Yeah, that's very good. To see the paper out, I think it will have quite an influence. I think lots of people are really interested in this area, and yours is one of the first, if not the first, published example of how these cells can be used together. So it's a fantastic platform from which you can take things forward. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.